No need to warm up necessarily.
Alright, so again with this no warm-up bullshit, I've already made an entire video on this. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, Milo Wolf has made another video, and he is going over why pistol squats are S tier, why they're freaking amazing. But in today's video, I'm going to be giving you my reasons and why I think they are dog shit, and I think you shouldn't really do them for hypertrophy. If you want to, by all means, that's fine. Obviously, exercise selection is very subjective to the individual, so I'm not so dumb to think that if someone likes this exercise and you get a really good pump from it and it feels great, by all means, you can have this in S tier. I can see your arguments for it, but I'm going to argue why I think it's not S tier. So let's get right into it.
First, pistol squats are extremely time efficient, and this really matters. Compared to a barbell squat, they are insanely time efficient. For one, because there's no backloading, I feel a lot more comfortable going straight into a set of pistol squats. No need to warm up necessarily. Additionally, the setup time is effectively none. Compare this to a barbell squat. For a barbell squat, you first need to set up the rack, set up the J-hooks at the right height, put the barbell in, load the plates on each side, put on the clips, do your first warm-up set if you're choosing to warm up. But even if you're not choosing to warm up, you need to load the plates, oftentimes 3, 4, maybe even more plates. Especially in a busy gym, that takes time to even find the plates, let alone load them on the bar.
Alright, so again with this no warm-up bullshit, I've already made an entire video on this, Milo Wolf, whatever, saying warm-ups are bullshit. You should always, or he says they're overrated and a waste of time. They're absolutely not. You should be warming up regardless. He's like, oh, when I do pistol squats, I don't really have to warm up. That's bullshit. If you're just going into a set of pistol squats and you're going right to failure in like the 6 rep range, you should definitely warm up. Doesn't matter if it's body weight or anything, like you should always warm up. Always, 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 always reduces the risk of injury. So to say, oh, you don't have to really warm up when you're doing pistol squats, that's bullshit. If you're training to failure, you should, if you're going to take any set to failure, you should always have some warm-up sets that are not taken to failure before that. So that's bullshit. You should be warming up anyway. And then he also says pistol squats are a lot more time efficient, but I'm going to tell you that they're not, because you're doing one leg at a time. Now, when you think about it, because, yeah, you don't have to load up a barbell, is it probably actually a little more time efficient than like a barbell back squat? Sure. But do you know what's even more time efficient than that? It's called doing antagonistic training, because I'm assuming when you're training legs like this, you're not just going to be doing pistol squats and that's your whole workout. You're probably going to be doing like some hamstrings too. So why not do like how I train, antagonistic training? So you'll do a set of quads and then you'll immediately go into a set of hamstrings. So while your quads are resting, your hamstrings are working, and vice versa. That is a much better way of saving time than doing pistol squats. So is it probably more time efficient than a barbell back squat? Yes, but only really slightly, because you definitely have to warm up prior to doing pistol squats anyways, and you're doing one leg at a time. So really, if you do a set of 10 reps on pistol squats versus a set of 10 reps on a barbell back squat, you're technically doing 20 reps on the pistol squat and only 10 on the barbell back squat, taking you twice as long. So it's kind of pretty even in that regard. So I do not really see that as a benefit.
And you have any degree of time constraints. Let's say you can only be in the gym for an hour or an hour and a half or even 2 hours, say 5 times a week. Chances are that the growth you can see is still constrained by how much time you have. Because in the largest study on volume by Pellin and colleagues, we do see that higher volumes all the way to 30 to 40 fractional weekly sets leads to more growth.
Alright, this is ridiculous. 30 to 40, how are we quoting shit like this? Like, you really think doing 30 sets, 30, 40 sets will lead to more growth? Like, come on, man. I mean, maybe if you're just training like a pussy, but if you're actually pushing yourself in the gym, which is what you should be, you're definitely not going to be able to do 30 or 40 sets. That's absolutely ridiculous. If you're doing 30 to 40 sets, then your intensity has to be in the toilet so you can make better or like the same gains. Because in my opinion, if you like doing more volume, that's completely fine, but you're going to have to lower your intensity. But if you like doing less volume, you just have to increase your intensity. So there's a balance. I think they can both work, but 40 sets, that's ridiculous. That is like so much volume that you'd have to be leaving like 10 freaking plus reps in reserve, like 5 reps in reserve, like crazy amounts. Like that's just ridiculous. Then you're going to be in the gym your whole freaking life. So why not instead maybe do 10 hard sets a week and take all those sets to failure? That's going to have you save on a lot more time than doing all these reps in reserve and just doing more volume. And again, if you really want to save time in the gym, do antagonistic training.
My second reason is that for many lifters, pistol squats instantly land you in the effective rep range of 5 to 12 reps per set.
Most new lifters are not going to be able to do this. They're not. Probably not. If you have no lifting experience, I do not think the average person can do a pistol squat. And if they can, it's probably with dog shit form. They're not going all the way down. So I don't think this is a as beginner friendly lift. And to the same extent, if you're an intermediate, then actually I think you would probably be in that good rep range zone. But if you're an advanced lifter, you can probably do a good amount of these. I think this is definitely more of an intermediate to maybe slightly advanced lifter kind of exercise. Now he's going to go over how you can load it more, and but we'll get into that.
Another common critique of pistol squats and sissy squats and the like is that you can't progressively overload them. And honestly, that's just false. Because adding weight to the pistol squat is literally as simple as throwing a dumbbell onto one shoulder. That's all you need to do. So if you can get more than 12 reps, try that out. However, let's say you have the opposite problem. Pistol squats are too hard for you. In that case, I would just do eccentric only reps until you can get a few solid full range of motion reps. I would say as long as you can get at least 4 pistol squats per set, you can progress to regular pistol squats.
Yeah, so I will give credit where credit is due. I think if you are an advanced lifter and you want a progressive overload, I don't think it's that difficult to prop up a dumbbell on one of your shoulders. You know, you're not going to be adding like a crap ton of weight to these, like even if you are super advanced. I mean, you're never really going to be grabbing the hundreds to do that. I don't think, especially for naturals and stuff, you're not really going to be doing that. So I don't actually think it's that bad to progressive overload if you are an advanced lifter and you can already do multiple pistol squats. But for a beginner who can't really do them, I don't think just saying, oh, just do negatives is a great solution. I just don't think you should be doing it. I think you should maybe be doing regular barbell back squats or like a hack squat or something like that. I think that would get you a lot better results than just doing negative. We know the concentric is also important for growth, so I don't think we should just be doing the negative. Now, if we're doing the negative, maybe like sometimes where I just do the negative, I'm doing pull-ups, and to like drop set it, I'll just do the negatives after I can't get any other reps, then I think that's great. But to only be doing the negative, I don't think that is as good as going through the concentric and the eccentric. So I think for most people, if you can't do a pistol squat, then I wouldn't be just progressive overloading it by just doing the eccentric portion. I would just be doing regular squats.
The next big benefit is that pistol squats, like any unilateral movement, can help with asymmetry.
And again, give props to where it's due. I totally agree with this. My right leg, I just feel it when I'm doing squats. Is my right leg likes to take over a little bit. It's just a little bit stronger. So I do think that if you do have asymmetries, doing like Bulgarian split squats or anything unilaterally like that this exercise can be a great way to address that. So I do think that this is a good use for this exercise.
The next big benefit of pistol squats, which I mentioned earlier, is that there is no real spinal loading. In a barbell squat, you have a bar on your back. That weight on your back is both compressing your spine and is also creating a moment arm, spinally flexing your spine.
And that is another benefit too. However, if you are progressive overloading it and you are putting weight on your shoulder like he was doing, then you are going to be getting some axial loading there, but obviously it won't be as much as a barbell back squat. But you know, there are also other exercises that do that, like a leg press. You know, that exists too. So I don't think that axial loading is like a huge downside. Now, obviously, I think it would be better to minimize that as much as possible, but you know, things like leg presses exist.
Additionally, perceptually, it is much easier to do pistol squats than loaded back squats. But here's the truth, the muscle only really feels tension. So if something's perceptually easier, but on the muscular level induces likely similar stimulus, why not pick the easier option? Because as a result of being perceptually easier, getting less out of breath, I find it easier to do more volume closer to failure. And guess what? That will likely mean bigger legs from pistol squats.
Okay, so here's the problem with that. So he's saying that, oh, pistol squats are easier to perform than a standard barbell back squat, and that is true. The only reason that is true, though, is because you're literally using less of your muscles. You're doing them one leg at a time. So if you're only using half your leg, you're not going to be as gassed as if you were using the other one too, because your body doesn't need to supply as much oxygen to the leg that's not in use right now. So you won't be as gassed just doing one set of pistol squats on the one leg as doing both legs at the same time on a regular barbell back squat. However, though, you need to then also do the left leg. So while it's not as tiring just doing the one leg compared to the two legs on the barbell back squat, you also have another leg to do. So that's going to get you even more tired. And also, I mean, personally for me, this is a big thing when it comes to pistol squats, and why I really am not a big fan of them is because you got to do one leg at a time. I mean, how many people can really push hard to failure doing one leg? People already think leg training sucks balls enough. Now you got to do one leg and then you got to do the other. Are people really going to be pushing themselves really hard to failure doing this? No, they're probably going to be leaving shit in the tank. So I think it's much better to just do barbell back squats. I think it's easier to do one really hard set of barbell back squats than two slightly easier sets of pistol squats, because you can just get it over with right there and then with the barbell back squats, whereas you got to do one leg here and then the other leg. I find that, for me anyway, and I think most people, it's a very mentally fatiguing, because you know you got to do the one leg and then you got to do the other, and it's just you get the lactic acid and the burn. You're under that, you know, you're getting that lactic acid for a longer period of time. So not a fan of that.
The first critique is, aren't pistol squats just too unstable to be effective for hypertrophy? And honestly, the concept of stability is something I think gets heavily oversold in the fitness industry today. Because when it comes to actually studying stability and measuring hypertrophy for more stable versus less stable exercises, we only really have one study.
Yeah, I have to agree with this. I don't think that just because it's not the most stable exercise ever, that automatically makes it a bad exercise. I don't think anyone would say that dumbbell bench pressing is worse than Smith machine bench pressing because the dumbbells are a little bit less stable. Obviously, he also throws in the study he's referencing or whatever, they use like Bosu ball back squats. Now that's just so unstable that it's absolutely crazy. But I think as long as you have a moderate amount of stability, I think that's fine across the board. And I don't think there is a significant difference from, oh, one is so stable and one is just a little bit less. As long as you got good moderate stability, I think that's fine across the board. But that's really the video, guys. So the main reasons why I don't like pistol squats is they're, one, not the best for time efficiency, even though he said it there. Yeah, you don't need any equipment and you can just go right into it like he said, but you really can't do that. You have to warm up regardless. And when you're warming up with a barbell back squat, you know, you're going to be putting plates on there already, so then you're already setting plates on there for your working sets. So I really do not think pistol squats are going to save you a shit ton of time, and you also have to do one leg and then the other leg, so that's minusing some time there. So I really don't, if anything, they're probably equal if I have to be 100% honest. And once you got all those plates on the barbell, then you're good. It's just getting the plates on there, and then, you know, you're not really gonna have to do that again. So I think it's absolutely fine. So I don't really see that as any tangible benefit. If anything, I see that as a negative. 2, you got to do one leg at a time. Don't like that. I find it harder, especially on legs, to push beyond. There are a couple exercises I make exceptions for, that being my rear delts, but that is pretty much it, and it stinks just having to do one side and then doing the other. It literally takes, like, again, like twice as long. Like, I've said that before. So I am not a fan of pistol squats. I don't think they're great. I think majority of people would get much better results from just doing regular barbell back squats or doing like a hack squat or a leg press. I just think that's the more practical movement. But if you do like pistol squats and you push them really hard, you take them to failure, I do still think you can get equally as big of quads if you're really pushing hard and training to failure. But that's the thing. I think it's harder to actually do that for most people on pistol squats. So that's why I just don't think they're as much of a practical exercise as back squats or any other leg press or other squatting pattern. They do have their place, but for me, that place is down in D tier because I just think there are better exercises than pistol squats. So that's my opinion, guys. But again, if you like them and you push them really hard, you can still get some great gains from them. I just think that there are more efficient exercises. But that's the video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.